I'm Felicia,
And I'm Ian.
and we are the Paranormal Lovers. One.
Hello, paranormal dudes, dudettes, and dudays. Welcome back to another episode of The Paranormal Lovers.
Hey guys.
Hey, guys.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. Episode 34. Our episodes are getting really close to my age now. It's kind of weird.
Yep.
All right. What did you love about this week?
Got rid of the beard. It's a
That
lot
is-
cooler.
You did. You look like 16 again.
Yep.
You got one of those faces. Like, you ain't black, you ain't Asian. But man, when you shave, you look so damn young.
I'll
to
take
be
half
somebody
my
in your
age off.
40s. Seriously. It's bananas. You asked me what I loved about this week, Bill.
What did you like about this week, baby?
Therapy.
Yeah?
I highly recommend if you've got mental issues and you have no one else to talk to, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Because, holy shit. And I'm finally fucking getting assessed for ADHD.
Right.
Like, it's been like a year that I've been fighting trying to get some kind of diagnosis or something.
It's a struggle.
Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to listen. And I finally get a sister for a therapist. And she's like, you ever thought you might have ADHD? And I'm like, ma'am,
Please.
holy shit.
Please.
So, yes, thankful to be back in therapy because
Sure.
this world sucks. All right. Today we're going to do a haunting.
Ooh, boy.
And we're going to go back over to Tennessee.
Nice.
Now, between 1817 and 1821, the Bell family and the community of Robertson County, Tennessee, were haunted by an asshole of an entity. Commonly known as, I was going to say affectionately, and I'm like, nobody has affection for this bitch. Commonly known as the Bell Witch.
The Bell Witch.
The Bell Witch.
That sounds familiar. Where do I know that from?
You may have heard it on a podcast I listened to. You may have seen it on a show. It's a pretty common.
I think it was on a TV show.
Yeah, probably. It's a fairly well-known account of a haunting or something.
Sure.
This entity would go on to talk, be able to affect the physical world, shapeshift, and would seem to be able to be in more than one place at a time. Martin V. Ingram published a book in 1894 titled Authenticated History of the Bell Witch. This is thought to be the first and most thorough retelling of the legend, although, of course, many people are skeptical of the accounts of the activity and feel this book is just simply a work of fiction. Maybe. I struggle with people thinking this is a work of fiction because so many people were, like, a part of the activity. Like, it wasn't just the family or just a couple of people, like hundreds of people came to experience the activity that was going on at this house.
Sure.
So one day, John Bell Sr. was in his field when he saw a strange animal. At first, he thought it was a large black dog, but after looking closer at it, he realized that it was not any kind of dog he had ever seen. It had the body of a large dog, but the head of a rabbit.
Spooky.
Weird.
Yeah.
That would probably give me nightmares because my brain can't compute how that would mash together.
Yeah, that's nightmare fuel.
Yeah. He fired off a shot and the creature took off. At dinner that night, the family heard knocking coming from outside of the house, but when they went to investigate the noise, they did not find anything outside. Drew Bell, one of their sons, claimed to have seen a bird sitting on a fence. He thought it might be a turkey or perhaps a really large raven. But when he went to approach the bird, it took off in flight, and he said that it was of an extraordinary size. Extraordinary. Since, of course, people like to claim the events that happened for these 4 years was on an Indian burial ground because white people.
Right.
Kind of made me think of the Thunderbird. Maybe he saw a thunderbird sitting on his fence.
Sure.
One of their daughters, Betsy, who would end up getting some of the worst treatment from this entity, claimed to see a girl in a green dress swinging from an old oak tree on their property. I could not figure out if she was like playfully swinging from a branch or if she was hanging from a noose.
Right.
But that's that. Now, Dean, poor guy, Dean was an enslaved person that lived with the Bell family. Most evenings he would travel down the road to see his wife, who was enslaved to a neighboring family. I hate talking about this shit. Legend has it that Dean soon began seeing a large black dog following whenever he would go visit his wife. She, his wife, made him a witch's ball, a protective hoodoo charm, but legend has it that the dog witch confronted him on one night about it. When he pulled it out of his pocket, it burst into flames.
Mm.
The activity did not confine itself outside of their home for long. The knocking started more often, sometimes on the windows and doors, and sometimes seeming to come from within the walls. The family started hearing chewing in the house that sounded like rats gnawing on the legs of the children's beds.
Nope.
Nope. The sounds of breaking glass, dogs fighting, and chains being drug across the floor were soon to follow. Could you
Ugh.
imagine hearing what you think is a fucking dog fight
Right.
in your house when you ain't got no motherfucking dogs?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, what the hell? Which it also makes me wonder if it was dogs fighting or more like the sound of like dogs chasing something.
Hmm.
Because you know how like hunting dogs and stuff, they can get like real riled up
Right.
when they've caught a scent.
Well, that and like residual energy, like of an event that had happened.
Yeah. And I mean, this was the 1800s. Slavery was still a thing.
Yeah. So like chains and like dogs like barking that
Yeah.
that like tells me like maybe a residual of like somebody hunting something
Or
or
somebody.
somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
The house would at times shake violently. And before long, the kids would have their blankets and pillows ripped from their beds.
see, I've seen ghost like video. Like I watched hella YouTube, and there's been a lot of like videos of like doors just
Yeah.
like that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, nope, it would freak me out. I would be gone.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. Sounds
And soon, the poor children would begin getting scratched and having their hair pulled by unseen forces. I'm telling you right now,
like a demon.
any entity wants to come after my child,
Because demons mostly scratch, right?
I
Like,
will burn them to the fucking ground. Don't come after my kid. Come after me. Do not come after my child. Which these people had like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 kids. Had a lot of
right.
damn kids. The daughter
Yeah.
Betsy,
That's most people back then.
yeah,
Like,
they did. Because, like, what the fuck else were you going to do? It's not like you had, like, TV or social media or
sure.
anything like that. And then, you got to have all them kids to work the damn fields,
Yep.
especially if you can only afford one enslaved person.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter Betsy seemed to be one of the entity's two main targets. She would be pinched and slapped so hard she would have visible red marks and welts on her face and body. She would also be pricked with needles.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know what the issue with Betsy was. To add another layer to the shit show, the entity began to speak in a disembodied voice. It started as grunts and moans, but before long they would be speaking in full sentences. At first, they seemed kind and curious. They would ask questions and sometimes even quote scripture from the Bible. When asked who they were and why they were told many different reasons. Everything from, of course, the land being a sacred burial ground to having been murdered on the land and a tooth being under their house to being a curse that was put on the family by a neighbor lady named Kate.
Hmm.
Kate was actually a relative to the family, but they seemed to have like some issues,
Right.
so they didn't really get along. And Kate is the name that stuck for this entity and would be the one that it would respond to.
Hmm.
And before they knew it, she got mean. Er.
How do you get meaner than all that stuff?
The other family member who was a large target was John Sr. She would hurl insults at him, call him Old Jack, and said that she was there to kill him.
Nope.
She didn't treat the enslaved people any better either. She would verbally assault them and throw racial slurs at them.
Huh.
She did not confine herself to the Bells' property. It would seem that she traveled all over the county and would come back to gossip about what everyone was doing. The best example of this was the time when she was able to recite word for word two different sermons that took place at the same time, 13 miles apart.
See, that sounds like a witch
It does sound like a witch or a demon,
or a demon.
because demons be doing shit like that.
Yeah, they travel.
Yep. As Betsy got older, she became engaged to Joshua Garner. For some reason, this enraged Kate, and she did not want these two to get married and made her feelings known by heaping even more abuse on Betsy. In the end, Betsy ended up calling off her engagement, hoping to end the abuse. Now, there's some theories, and of course, it's not been like validated, and there's really no proof of it. But one of the theories about this was that it was caused by a teacher that Betsy had who
Mm-hmm.
was like in his 30s. And allegedly, when she became engaged to Joshua Gardner, he was like pissed off about it because he was like obsessed with her. Keep in mind, she's a child. He's her fucking middle aged teacher.
Right.
So some people think that he had something to do with it. But again, good luck finding proof and evidence of that in the early 1800s.
Right.
So back to John, Kate would cuss him, yell threats at him, and it was thought that she caused him to have migraines, fatigue, and seizures.
Hmm.
They went to a friend, James Johnston, who came to spend some time in their home to experience the activity firsthand. He was awoken in the middle of the night due to the same activity that the family had been experiencing. His son came over and decided to do a little test, so he asked Kate if she knew what his grandmother, who lived in North Carolina, would say to her enslaved people if she thought they did something wrong. And sure enough, Kate repeated it word for word what his grandmother would say in his grandmother's accent.
Hmm.
So I guess she didn't just keep herself confined to Tennessee.
Right.
According to the Tennessee State Library and Archives, Andrew Bath Salts Jackson, thank you, Bailey, for that name.
Bath salts.
Well, when she did her um, Andrew Jackson episode on Dark History, she was like, "Have you guys seen pictures of him when he got older? Because he looks like he was on some bath salts." And so she just calls him Andrew Bath Salt Jackson, and I like it, so I threw that in there. Thanks, Bailey. Um,
Look
Andrew
like
Bath Salts Jackson,
he's on Flocka.
yes, he was just a general at the time, had heard of the activity, and decided he wanted to stop by for a visit. When Jackson and his group got onto the Bells' property, before they even got to the house, they got rolled onto their property. One of their wagons became stuck,
Hmm.
would not move. No matter what they did, they couldn't get it to roll. In frustration, Jackson exclaimed that it must be the work of the witch. And legend states that the entity then said, quote, "All right, General, let the wagon move on. I'll see you again tonight." End quote.
Hmm.
I'm scrolling.
Man, what it would be like to like travel by wagon like that?
Boring,
Crazy.
I would think. And
Yeah,
like
probably.
a really long fucking journey.
Yeah.
Like a really, which, and to think like Jackson, he was a general in a war, like he would fight and stuff. So he wasn't just like going from like one town to the next. He was traveling all over the country.
I mean, I guess you could like kick back there and sleep.
Yeah, I mean, your options would be like sleep, read a book, talk to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
draw a picture. Like,
Right.
it's not like you got a tablet you can like look on or your phone, you can doom scroll Instagram or anything. So
Right.
yeah, it would be, and it would take you like our 5 hour trips to the beach would take like 2 or 3 days.
Days. Yeah.
Mm. That night, one of Jackson's men claimed to be a witch hunter with a silver bullet that could kill any entity. And as soon as he said that, he started jumping around and flailing. He began proclaiming that he was being beaten and pricked with needles.
Huh.
Jackson's men begged to leave that night, but Jackson made them spend at least one night there. And there's really not much more about what happened while they were there. It is said, though, that the next day he was seen fleeing from the property and allegedly exclaimed, quote, I would rather fight the British in New Orleans than to fight the Bell Witch, end quote. Like,
Dang.
yeah. And Jackson was like a straight asshole, too.
Sure.
Like, he did some really shitty, shady stuff, and
Most of them generals were like pretty hard asses.
they really were. And like, the shit he did to like indigenous people and stuff,
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's scared of a little witch,
Right.
you know?
It's probably why.
Right. Now, although Kate heaped so much abuse on various members of the family, she seemed to have a soft spot for the matriarch Lucy. She would compliment Lucy for how kind she was to people. She would sing songs to her. And when Lucy came down with an illness that everyone thought would kill her, Kate began dropping nuts and fruits onto her bed for her to eat, like out of the sky, like out of thin air.
Hmm.
She would throw, I think it was hazelnuts and grapes on her bed, and Lucy ate them. And within a few days, Lucy recovered from whatever illness was plaguing her.
Wow.
Lucy was the only person in this family that Kate liked.
Yeah.
The only person she showed any kindness to.
So the ghost or witch liked that person.
Yeah, she liked Lucy, the mom,
Hmm.
which, like, I don't know, maybe it's because the woman had a fuck ton of kids or something,
Right.
and she just really didn't like her husband. I don't know, but she was really, really kind to Lucy.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure Lucy didn't give a fuck though, because like, she was threatening to kill her husband and attacking her poor children.
Right.
So who knows? Now, on December 19th, 1820, John Bell fell into a coma. This part's so fucked. The family called on his doctor to make a house call. Damn, I wish we could still do that.
Yeah.
While he was there, they found a vial of dark liquid and no one knew where it came from, and it was only about half full. To test it, John Jr. gave one drop of the liquid to one of the family cats, who immediately dropped dead.
Hmm.
The witch exclaimed, quote, It is useless for you to try to revive old Jack. I've got him this time. He will never get up from that bed again. End quote. When pressed further, she said, quote, I put it there, gave old Jack a big dose out of it last night when he was asleep, which fixed him. End quote.
Wow.
Yeah, this bitch really did not like John Jr.
Poisoned him.
or John Sr. John Jr., in frustration, threw the vial into the fire, which exploded into a large cloud of either blue or purple smoke. Depends on who you ask.
Nice.
Some sources say he actually like threw it on the ground and it was like, I don't know. But John Bell Sr. died the next day.
Wow.
She killed him.
Yeah.
Maybe. After that, she disappeared for 7 years, as she told Lucy she would. She came back a few times, but never at the same level she was the first time. Either because people just didn't give her the time of day, or she didn't hate everyone else as much.
Right.
I don't know. Legend states that she even made prophecies about wars and world events that actually came true.
Hmm.
And one of her prophecies is that the world's going to end in fire.
I mean, that's a good one.
And when I think I re-listened to more of it after I did my notes to see if there was like anything I really missed, and I was like, she's not far off.
No.
The way things are looking right now.
And I was listening to Carl Sagan last night from like 1985 doing a
Mm,
speech to Congress about climate change. Oh my god. Like
yeah.
like we knew this in 1985, people. Come on.
I mean, they've known about it since like the 50s.
Yeah.
For 70 years, they've known that the shit we're doing is accelerating the cycle
Yeah.
of climate. Because, I mean, the climate goes in cycles. Everybody knows that. You have like dark ages, ice ages, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It happens. But people can't just sit there and say, well, it's just the way the climate goes. It's
Yeah.
just what happened. It's like, yeah, but it should take a lot longer for it to go the way it is. But with our industry,
Well, he was talking about the balance of it all.
yeah,
And he also brought up Venus. He's like, Venus should have the same climate Earth does, but its atmosphere is made up of almost solid carbon dioxide instead of oxygen.
yeah,
So it makes the air temperature like 400 degrees Celsius.
shoo,
You know,
that's crazy.
even though it has like these super heated or super clouds, like it has dense clouds, but like
Yeah,
it's still 400 degrees on the surface.
maybe they should try planting some trees.
I mean, that's what my dad said the other day. I'm like, we should just plant trees. That's what you got to do. You plant trees. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Old people are funny.
uh,
Let's see. She claimed she would return again in 107 years, but there are no reports that she ever showed up in 1935.
right.
In entertainment today, some people believe the Blair Witch Project was based off of these accounts, although that's
That's
never been confirmed.
that's what I was going to ask earlier if the Bell Witch was uh, based on it.
Or the Blair Witch was based on the Bell Witch.
Yeah.
Some people think so, but no one's ever actually said, like, yeah, that's what it's based off of.
Right.
And I watched it like once and I was like, this is so stupid. That part where she's like in the camera and like she's got stuff dribbling out of her nose. And
I
she's
mean,
like,
when I first watched it, I was
Jesus.
like alone in a theater, like on so many drugs and like because I was a teenager and
Right.
it was spooky to me, but I was on many drugs that night. So
Right. That's kind of how I feel when I went to see, I think it was The Messengers in theater, and I was like stoned off my ass.
mm-hmm.
But I thought it was hilarious.
Right.
Like, I remember just laughing through the whole movie. And then I watched it later when I was sober, and I was like, this shit ain't funny.
This isn't funny.
Yeah, I can't now, as an like pushing 40-year-old adult, I can't watch scary movies for one at night, two by myself, or three high because the nightmares I will have. No fucking thank you.
Like when I first seen the Blair Witch, it was in the art theater in Asheville. So it was super weird because it was like a small little it just looked like a room
Yeah,
and they had it playing on a projector. And so it was like really, really
it's
strange.
even spookier.
It,
I feel like.
yeah, it kind of made it even spookier because
Yeah.
like I want to say they left the lights on, so like we were all sitting around looking at each other, like, is this a real movie or because nobody knew back then that it wasn't. It was just
They didn't
fake.
know what like
You know,
found footage movies were.
they didn't know what found footage movies were.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There are several movies and documentaries that are based off of these accounts. A lot of them are like The Bell Witch. They have The Bell Witch in the title.
I might have seen a documentary on it.
The most well known would probably be An American Haunting that came out in 2005.
Okay.
It is
I've seen
based
that
off
movie.
of The Bell Witch. And I believe the podcast Paranormal Misfit, I believe Chrissy did an episode on it 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
So I would advise you guys go check out her. She's a lady from Florida that does cryptids and hauntings, and she does like movie reviews and stuff.
Sweet.
So it's really fun to listen to her. But that, my friends, blah, is the haunting of the Bell Witch, and now I feel like I need to go spray myself down with some Florida water. Because, I don't like doing hauntings and stuff. I'm always afraid I'm going to like attract something.
Right.
Although, then again, we got the ancestors out there, so I don't think anything could get in if it wanted to.
It's true. Nana.
Nana and my grandma and my mother, dear
That's
God.
true.
Like, you never got to meet my mama, but trust me, I can't see shit getting past my mama.
Right.
She was 5'2" and a tiny woman, but boy, you didn't fuck with her.
It's a fireball, huh?
She was. I mean, yeah. 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 All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can find us on Instagram at The Paranormal Lovers. You can find our videos on YouTube at The Paranormal Lovers as well. You can send us an email at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com for a suggestion to bitch and gripe, just to say hi, anything. Just send us a damn email, man. Still hoping to get some personal stories so we could do some paranormal personals. That'd be real fun.
We got to get up with Joseph Gabriel. Do a
Hey guys.
collab too.
Hey guys.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. That'll be real fun, and we'll keep you guys updated on when we get that going. There's
get
a few
get
other
the timings down.
there's a few other people that have reached out about doing some collaborations as well. So definitely have to get those on the ball.
We just now got a new stream insert, like a new stream
new video recorder.
So we'll see how it works out. It seems like it's a little easier than Zoom. So
yeah, it does. Oh shoot, excuse me. Also cheaper.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
We're team cheap mod. So.
Yeah, we like to do stuff cheaper because when you grow up poor, even when you have money, it's hard to kind of get out of that mentality.
Yep.
So we're comfortable now. Yep. I would say
for sure.
All right, guys. You can also go over to our website, theparanormallovers.com.
Yeah, we got a cool website.
And check out. We don't have a lot on there, but there's stuff on there. Stuff. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us this week, and we hope you have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.